Hey everyone, it's Frokles, and instead of sitting on my ass and letting my channel collect dust, I decided, hey, why not make another one of those new video things that everyone seems to be doing? And I do have to apologize for the lack of uploads. I've been working on another video for months and it's taking forever. I haven't made any sort of review before, so please give me time. I want it to be good. I want it to be cool. You fucking get it? Because it's this Be Cool Scooby-Doo review. You know, when it's on that show with Scooby, I think it's canceled already. Now today we're going to be doing something a bit different. Instead of doing a top 10 or review, I'm just going to list off some of the weirdest things that Nintendo has changed when they localized their games. And if you think this is just going to be a whatever minute video about me complaining that I can't pet a waifu in Fire Emblem, you'd be completely wrong, as censorship is a completely different animal, and to be frank, I don't damn well care. This is stuff that just makes you scratch your head and makes you say, what, why, what the... Why? Why'd they do that? What the hell? The things that would have been completely fine if they were left unchanged. Nothing offensive, nothing out of the ordinary, just stupid. So join me as I list off some of the stupidest things that Nintendo has changed in their games. So how about we start in the days of the NES and the Nintendo's localization of Mario 2. What's so dumb about that, you say? Mario 2 is awesome! Well, how about the fact that Nintendo localized an entirely different game? While Japan got the real Mario 2, we got another game called Doki Doki Panic with a Mario skin simply slapped over it. We wouldn't get the real Mario 2 until the Super Nintendo days when it was remade and released alongside Super Mario All-Stars. And it kinda sucks. Like hard. I'll take our Mario 2 any day, but that's not what you're here for. Everyone with a basic knowledge of gaming history knows that. You want something a little more obscure. That obviously means we're talking about more Mario! Music Park is a course that can be found in Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. Now that name is fine and all, but in Europe and Australia, the stage is called Melody Motorway. Like, do they not have parks in those places? Why'd they change it? Music Park was just fine. But the thing that I'm mad about is that it's a way better name than ours! How come they get the alliteration? Why can't ours be called something like Staccato Speedway or Rhythm Road? That would have been a ton more fun! Speaking of rhythm, the Rhythm Heaven series, a personal favorite of mine, is home to a lot of plain stupid localization changes. For starters, the original game wasn't even released here, which doesn't make sense because this is not a text-heavy game. And sure, there's some Japanese songs in there, but so what? They could have rewritten them in English or, hey, just leave in the Japanese ones, they'd play just fine. In fact, newer entries in the series had both of these options, so would it have really killed them to let us have this one? Well, thank God for the fan translation. Onto Rhythm Heaven DS, there aren't a lot of changes in here besides some minor alterations on the loading screens. Like, look at this one for Moi. That one fucking Easter Island heads. It goes a little bird, it goes doo-wop, yeah, Moi doo-wop. The difference between the international and Japanese versions is almost unnoticeable, but look at that bird! Why is it changed? And now that I look at it harder, the head looks a little less mad in our version. What is this, a Kirby box art? Rhythm Heaven Fever is known for one of the stupidest changes that I've ever seen in a video game, being that they took out an entire mini-game. The Japanese version of this game has a really cool endless game called Manzai Birds. Manzai is a very popular form of stand-up in Japan, and it is true that not a lot of Americans will get it, so why not change it to something like Improv Birds and replace all the Japanese with gibberish like in Ringside. In America we got a game called Mr. Upbeat, which is from the original Rhythm Tengoku, so that begs the question, wouldn't it make sense to include both? I mean, the Japanese would probably enjoy seeing a returning minigame, but for us it means absolutely nothing! Finally, to finish off the series comes the latest entry in the series, Rhythm Heaven Megamix for the 3DS. There are some localizations of this game that aren't exactly stupid, but just downright lazy. In the Japanese version of the game, Lush Remix and Machine Remix have lyrics, but in the American version, they're instrumental. Now, that wouldn't be such a big deal, but the previous Rhythm Heaven Fever, had songs with English lyrics, so why don't these? That's like your mom packing a pudding cup for your lunch one day, and celery the next. Like, you've already had a taste of the pudding, so why would you want the celery? It's dumb! Oh well, at least they added an option to turn on the Japanese voices so you can listen to these kick-ass songs. Next up is Pokemon, or more specifically, Pokemon Gold and Silver, where we're gonna look at some really dumb sprite changes that I guess fall under the term censorship, but they're so minor and so unnecessary that I thought I'd include them. Now, one that actually makes sense is taking the cigarette out of the fisherman's mouth. This is a kid's game, you don't want kids smoking. But one that doesn't make sense is that they changed the stage's sprite so he's not praying anymore and is instead crossing his arms like he thinks he's better than me or something. You have Bellsprouts, get over yourself! But the downright most pointless one of all is that they changed it so the swimmer and the beauty sprites are no longer winking. Like, what's so wrong about winking? Winking doesn't automatically mean that this grown woman is coming on to this 10-year-old boy, but that same logic the old man in Pokemon X and Y is hitting on me. Am I supposed to feel something? Because I don't. Oh, hey, where'd my pants go? Sitting on the Game Boy is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, where Nintendo altered the game not for the original localization, but for the re-release on the Virtual Console. The character Grandma Ulrira, is that right? Usually says, Yahoo! I'm fine. And you? As well as other phrases with the similar Yahoo in them. But in the re-release, they're changed to hello or yippee! And I get they probably didn't want to run into legal troubles with the company Yahoo, but Yahoo was founded in 1995, March 2nd, 1995 to be specific, and Link's Awakening came out in 1993. Nintendo doesn't owe them shit! So why'd they change that one minute detail? Star Fox has always had a weird history when it came to localization, especially in Europe, where the first game was renamed Starwing and the second game was renamed Lylat Wars. Now apparently this was due to a German company with a similar name called Star Fox, with a V of course. Now that makes sense, but what doesn't add up is why they called the second game Lylat Wars. How on earth was someone supposed to know that's a sequel to Starwing? That's like if they called Super Mario 64 The Plumber in the Painting. Sure, that's technically what the game is about, but how would the average kid back then know that without being a subscriber to Nintendo Power? This is such an easy thing to fix that I'm gonna come up with 5 titles that will be better than the one given to the European version of Star Fox 64. Number 1, Starwing 2. I'm aware that there was really a Star Fox 2 in production, but as far as people knew at the time, this was Star Fox 2. Number 2, Starwing 64. Number 3, Starwing Lylat Wars. Number 4, Starwing Attack on Andross. And finally, number 5, Starwing The Fox Awakens! I see, I wasn't even trying on the last one, but you know what? You knew what series it was from. And it took me less than 5 minutes. This is Nintendo we're talking about. They probably spent days upon days thinking of that. With charts and graphs and clipboards. Probably the same guy who decided to name the upgraded 3DS the new 3DS. Like, that's not gonna get confusing. My point is, Nintendo has always sucked at naming things, and this video is over. So with that, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. My review of Be Cool Scooby-Doo should be done soon, and I really enjoyed making this, so tell me if you want more videos in this format. Ciao! Like Chow from Sonic. Blech. Sonic.